Today we are going to paint a mini, maybe two, since I like to interchange between them to let one dry and then keep going on the next. I've got a one-shot on Friday, so yesterday by the time this video comes out, but I am planning to use this mini for said one-shot. So with our deadline set, let's just jump on in. The mini I'm painting is one of a pack of 2 elf female sorcerers from Wizkids. It comes already primed and ready to paint, so I can jump right in. Speaking of paint, I will be using Citadel Paints for no other reason than it's what I learned to paint minis with, and we've collected a variety over the years. I like to start by swatching my color palette so I can get an idea of where I want to put each color before laying on the base coat. For this one shot, I'm actually playing a female elf wizard called Ida. Ida is a moon elf and has blue undertones to her skin, so I'm starting with a base of blue to ultimately paint over with white. In my head, she wears a lot of blue, so I'll be painting her to match that. Though this mini is technically a sorcerer, I tend to choose my minis based on what gives me the desired feel for a character rather than adhering to what the model's called. I liked the outfit, action pose, and particularly the lack of a staff on this one, and figured it fit in with the mental image I have of my character. If you're finding your paint isn't going on smoothly, add a bit of water to make it easy to maneuver. Careful not to add too much, or it may not create the coverage that you want. I completely forgot to do it for this mini, but I usually take a bit of blue tack and a spice jar to hold up my mini and make it so I don't have to touch it as much. It can also help with angling it into position for hard to reach areas. Now that our base coat is in place, we can start on doing a shade wash. These washes are great for darkening the small details, and if you ever feel like there's too much in any one area, you can always just suck up the excess with a dry brush. After the shade wash is dry, I choose much lighter variants of each of the colors and dry brush on some highlights. Generally, you want to do this with a light source in mind and concentrate your highlights in areas that would be flooded with the light. From this point, I just start to do a lot of finessing. I'll go in and do extra dark washes in areas that become a little too bright, and dry brush with even lighter colors to areas where I want to have more highlights. When I'm roughly happy with how the mini looks, I attach it to the base and then use this technical paint to fill in the dip between the mini and the base. I ultimately want it to look like gravel or dirt. When Ida casts necromancy spells, her eyes go white and black tears cascade down her cheeks. It was a fun challenge to paint these in, but one side definitely looks better than the other. It took a lot of tries with different colors for me to ultimately be happy with this base. It kept looking too flat, so I added a very slight touch of green, and then really felt it came to life when I added a very light gray highlight. I find these clear magic effects can be hard to paint. I found a video that suggested using a contrast paint since it will coat the effect while still keeping it translucent. I didn't have one, so I thinned out my black and added various light blues as a highlight. It kept looking too matte though, so as a finishing touch I added a little bit of clear polish to bring back the difference in finish. And that's Ida. I'm pretty happy with how she turned out. There's not a lot to say because I'm filming this before I've actually done the one shot, but I like it and I'm pretty happy with it, and I tend to just fiddle with them until I do end up happy with minis. It was fun getting to try and do the challenge of painting the tears on, even if I'm pretty happy with it. I love just sitting down and painting minis. I find it very relaxing and restorative, plus you end up with a very fun and unique outcome. In sort of unrelated news, I have done an update in my Etsy shop of new dice stitch markers. I've also got some mini dice bag knitting kits in the works, so those will be coming soon if they're not already up. Purchases there help me to fund more projects and patterns to share here, so if you are interested or want to give them as Christmas gifts, you can check them out in the link in the description. That is it for this project. If you like this video, feel free to check out my other videos. And if you really like this video, you can feel free to subscribe. I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!